Hello Stampers, it's Amy Rich with amyrich.net. I think Paper Pumpkin is coming faster now. I feel like we just were together, and now even though I'm late, it seems like just yesterday. So check out the awesome products that come in this month's, actually not this month's, July's Paper Pumpkin kit. It's pretty amazing. So I'm going to show you what we're going to use today to make our alternate project. We're going to grab one of the jars, the stamp set of course, the ink pad, a couple of the postcards, and then I like to put my little cutouts in baggies so that I can cut them all out and they're all ready to go. So I'm going to grab a few of those to use in the project as well. All right, I'm excited. Let's get started. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer so we can cut apart these postcards. And we are going to make a card that fits into our envelopes that come in the pack of note cards and envelopes. So it's a 3.5 by 5 inch card. And we're going to take one of these pieces right here and we're going to just trim off the rounded corners. So I'm just going to put that barely into my trimmer. So I cut off about 1/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to flip that around. Remember I said that our card is 3.5 inches. So I'm going to make this 3.25 inches. So it cuts off just a little bit more. And then we're going to turn this, and we want 2.25, and then we want 2.25 again. And we're going to set those aside for later. We are going to do the same thing with this piece, at least to start. We're going to cut off that 1/8 of an inch to get those rounded edges off. And this time we're going to flip that and cut it off at 2.5. All right, so we've got this excess that we could use for something else. This is about the width of the jar. So let me show you what's next. We are going to grab those fireflies. Look at how cute they are. And we are going to attach a few of them, not to our jar, but to our piece of cardstock that is all decorated like a night sky. I think that's so great. We'll put a couple there, and then we'll put one more up here a little ways. Okay, and then let's put our jar on to make sure. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so then we're going to take our liquid glue, and I'm just going to go with a light hand. I'm going to go around the edge of that jar, and we're going to line that jar up with the bottom edge and the left and right edges of our pretty paper, pretty night sky. Okay, and then what I should have done in advance, or I should have cut it this way too. Oops. So we'll just trim that off so the top of the jar is still vellum. Then it's time to grab our extra pieces. Okay, so first of all, let me introduce this beauty. This is from Playing with Patterns Ribbon Combo Pack. It's a pool party color, and it goes with these two other ones in a pack. And then I've cut just a piece of 3/4 inch, just a strip of Whisper White. And now we're going to do the same thing we did with the bottom of the jar. We'll do to the top as well. And we'll add our white on the back. And that just creates just a different look for the top of our jar. I was inspired by 3 other demonstrators for this card. I took bits and pieces, and I will name them in the description so that everybody knows who they are. And I took their parts and put it together and made this really fun card. So I'm excited to share it with you. Thank you for joining me today. So now I'm just, as you can see, I'm trimming around that so that not all that excess paper is on there, and it's just going to be then the shape of the jar. So that's kind of fun. And because I cut it the right width, it makes it really easy to just trim off the other pieces. All right, so then we've got that cute little jar with our fireflies in it. So next we can take our ribbon and wrap that around the neck of the jar. And we're going to tie that in a bow. Let's see if I can get lucky and tie a nice bow the first time around here. I don't know. It's tricky. I'll call it good. I'll call it good. Then we can trim that off. Oops. All right, then we're going to take a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, and this is where the 3.5 by 5 inch card comes into play. I've cut this 3.5 inches by 10 and then scored it in half, so it's 3.5 by 5. But then I've also scored it again at 2.5 from the end. So I'm going to fold that the same direction as I folded it in half. So it's almost like a J card. I called it that in class the other night. I think they thought I was cuckoo. All right, so then we're going to add these pieces that we cut from our cards. Those are going to just sit nicely into those 2 little areas there. And then we're going to take our jar and we're going to put adhesive on about the bottom half. And then this is going to go on our card, leaving a little bit of a border on the right, but a larger border than on the left. I'm going to move it over even a little bit more to get it where I want it to be. All right, so there's our card so far. Then we're going to grab a little label that comes in the kit. Grab our foam mat. And the stamp set is just fantastic. And we're going to use You Light Up My Life with the Berry Bliss ink Stampin' Spot that comes in the kit. Now remember, when you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get the stamp set and you get the little ink pad, and it's never going to be the same color in the same year. So you'll know that you've got 12 different colors during the course of a year. So that's pretty cool. All right. Now we're going to take our dimensionals that come in the kit. They're little minis. So we're going to put 4 of them on just to give it a nice coverage. And then I'm going to pop that up right over here. And again, we're going to leave a little bit of a border on the left-hand side, just like we did on the right. And then we're going to take one more of our fireflies, add a dimensional closer to the butt. And then he's going to go up there. So cute. And there's one last little firefly here waiting to be used. So we're going to put a dimensional on the back of him or her. I don't know how that works. Then we're going to open that, and that's going to go right in the middle of our card so that it's an easel card. So cute. You light up my life. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this card, and I'm looking forward to sharing another one with you soon.